as well. And I'll be talking about my project that I'm proposing to do at the university. Plus, after that, we're going to take a little break, if you need a break, ask questions, that kind of stuff. And then I'll be going into web technologies. Specifically, I'll be covering PHP. That was a request for last week. I think Michael asked me, was it yourself?
Yeah, me and the guy who presented Java.
Yeah, so they asked me to cover PHP in more detail. So that's what I'm going to do after that. Very briefly as well. But I'll cover PHP, 4 building blocks, introduction, the basics of PHP, and I'll go into object-oriented. If we've got time, I might go into a little bit more depth, but what I'm going to try to do is at least cover 2 concepts, which is encapsulation and inheritance. Right, who's heard of the Goldsmith tale? I mean, there's a lot of videos on the internet, there's a lot of stories about this. It's based on a true story. But it's basically how money started. What is money? Who knows what money is? Who can define money? So I'll try like this. Is this money? Is this money?
It's a paper, yeah.
Is it money?
Yeah.
It's money, right?
Yeah, this is
It
what we
says
call
promise to pay the bearer on demand. It's a promissory note. It isn't money. It's currency. It's a legal tender. You can go and swap it for something else of value. Like I can put this down for this computer. I'm sure it'll be more expensive than £20, but it's a legal tender.
Yeah.
So the government gives this some weight. It says, right, okay, this is legal money. So someone can exchange it for a good, something of value. But what is really that? I mean, what is this? That's all it is. It's a promissory note. Does that mean I could just write a piece of paper and say, I promise to pay you £100 and give it to someone, and they start giving me food and drink, and then they take that piece of paper and exchange it for something else? Who's backing this money? Do you know? What's the value of this? If I go to the bank and I say, right, here's this, it's a promissory note, it says promise to pay the bearer on demand. So if I go to the bank and just give them that piece of paper, what are they going to give me? They're going to tell me I'm crazy. They're going to say, what do you want? It says promise to pay the bearer, you promise. I'm giving you the note, give me the money, give me the real money. They're going to say, something wrong with you? This is the real money. They would just probably give me another £20 note.
And they have a code or something like that.
Yeah, it's got a code, it's got some numbers.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I mean, all it is a promise. It's a promise to pay something, which is something what? So I'm going to tell you how money really started. In the past, what people used to do, they used to exchange, they used to barter. So I'll be like a fisherman, I'll get fish and I exchange it for some bread or something. So we used to barter. And people said, right, okay, let's come up with some money. So this Goldsmith guy, he comes up and just making a little story, which is based on something true as well. And he starts creating these coins. And he says, instead of you carrying a fish and it's a lot of weight and using it as money, you exchange all this goods for these coins. And these coins then can be exchanged in the market. Now these coins are based on gold and silver, which have some sort of a value in the market. So people started doing that, but then they didn't like carrying coins around. So they thought, okay, we'll store it with that guy, and we'll take a certificate, which is like a piece of paper. They said, right, okay, I've got 10 coins, 10 gold coins stored. And then they found it more convenient to carry the paper in their pocket and then exchange it. Look, I'll take that, the apples in exchange for that piece of paper, which you can go to that goldsmith and then take the apples, or take the gold, take the value. So the money started circulating, this paper money started circulating in the market. And then the goldsmith guy, he had this ingenious idea. Why didn't I think of this before? People are not coming here to collect their gold. Very rarely they would come in and say, right, give me the gold. So he realized that what he could do is he can start making up more paper with promises and loaning it out to people in exchange for interest. So all of a sudden, now he's loaning out gold or pieces of paper which he doesn't have the backing for in the gold reserve in exchange for interest. So he started making money out of potentially nothing. But he had some reserve, he had some gold. So if some people would come and say, right, okay, give us the gold, he'll say, oh, here you go. But not everyone at the same time will come to him at the same time. Some people found out about this story and they said, look, you got to cut us in the deal. You're making some money out of this. You're making money out of our gold. Give us something. So he started giving them a smaller percentage of what he's earning from the interest. Later on, they had what's called as a bank run. So what happened? Everyone started like getting suspicious about this guy. This guy's getting really super rich. How's he making all that money? So what they did what's called the bank run. They went up to him and they said, right, okay, give us all the gold. He couldn't give them the gold, closed the door. The government stepped in and said, right, we can't allow this to happen, but we like the idea, so we're just going to legalize it. And we're going to have something called a fractional reserve requirement.